Hi all, this is Tony here, and we're going to go over Give Thanks with a Grateful Heart in the key of F major. Alright, so without further ado, let's run through it and then I'm going to come back and break down the chords. Okay, so like I said in my last video, before we get to this, I'm a big fan of visiting this first. So the lyrics of the song go, give thanks with a grateful heart, give thanks to the Holy One, give thanks for he has given Jesus Christ his Son. Now let the weak say I am strong, let the poor say I am rich, because of what the Lord has done for us, give thanks. In the Bible, in Philippians chapter 4 verse 6, it says, be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving let your requests be known to God. So the word careful there means worry. So what it's telling us is every day we have nothing to worry about, but always something to be thankful for, because in the end of verse 6 it says, let your requests be made known to God. So basically what this verse says is we have a reason to be thankful, and it's because we serve a God who listens to us. So even on our worst day, we still have something to be thankful for. Amen. So like I said before, the song is an F. And let's go through and break the song down chord-wise. There are a lot of minor sevenths, and a lot of the chords I'm going to be naming have two names, but let's just go through it. F major. I just have two F's in my left hand, just an octave, and I have a C, F, A, an inverted F chord. Now I'm going to try not to make my hands obscure the keys I'm playing. So F, then you toggle your G and F, C major chord over E in the left hand, this is a C major chord in the right hand over C in the left hand. It's just an inverted C chord. So you go F, C over E, C. Next, for your second give thanks, this is an F chord in your right hand, A, C, F, and it's D in your bass. So on the one hand, you can call this a F over D, but you can also call it a D minor seventh, because as you know, a minor seventh chord is a minor triad with the dominant seventh. So F, C over E, C over C, D minor seventh. Now in your right hand you have the F chord, and what you're going to do is basically toggle between an F chord and an A minor chord. So it goes, thanks to the Holy One. So this is an F chord, A minor. This really isn't a chord, but it's A, C, and D. So you go, thanks to the Holy One. This is an F dominant seventh chord. Got it? So let's go over that again, but let's add the left hand. So got it? Now when you're playing an F in your right hand, the F chord in the right hand, you have a D octave in the bass. When you go, thanks to the Holy One, you have D minor seventh, you have A minor over C. Here you have A, C, and D in your right hand over a B flat octave. Here you have an A minor chord over an A octave. This is just an F dominant seventh chord. You have F's in your left hand, and in your right hand you have an A diminished. So when you put an F in the bass and an A diminished in the right, all together that equals an F dominant seventh chord. So F, C over E, C chord over C, give D minor seventh, A minor over C, A, C, D over B flat, A minor over A, F dominant seventh, then you hit your F with your pinky. The second thanks, so you have give thanks with a grateful heart, give thanks to the Holy One, give. See how on the give I hit my F here? For this thanks, this is just two B flat major chords. See? B flat, D, F, B flat, D, F. And I added my second in there, which is the C, because in the B flat scale, C is the second. It just makes the chord a little more colorful. This is what it sounds like without it. When you add the C, see how the C gives it a little more color? So, thanks for he has, this chord is a C major chord over A. You could also call this an A minor seventh. Given Jesus. This is that D minor seventh chord again. This is just E flat in the right hand, see? B flat, E flat, G. And in your left hand just playing two E flats, see? An octave. Christ, his. This is just an E flat add 2 in your right hand. You're adding the F and you're playing it over a D in the bass. Christ, his, son. For son, this is an E flat over C, E flat chord in your right hand. This is two C's in the bass, but you can also call this a C minor seventh chord. Whichever one is easiest for you, go ahead and use it. So, Christ, his, son. Then we go back to the chorus again. That is just D, E, F, G, back to your F chord with F's in your left hand. And that little, I guess you can call it a fill, that's just time filler. It just lets the choir know that you're going back to the same verse that you just played, or it lets the band know to repeat the same chords that they just used for the last verse. So little fills like that are very useful. So let's recap what we have so far. F, C over E, C, D minor 7th, A minor over C, A, C, D over B flat, A minor over A, F7 or F dominant 7th, hit your F with your pinky, B flat add 2, A minor 7th, D minor 7th, E flat add 2 over D, C minor 7th, or you can call it E flat over C. Then you roll back up from D to G, sorry. Now we go through the chorus a second way. So when I did the chorus a second time, I didn't go give thanks with a grateful heart, give thanks to the Holy One. Notice I did something different. I did sort of a fill there. I went so that little fill that I did, let me tell you exactly how I did that. So when you're coming off of your C chord, give thanks with a grateful heart. So when you're on your C chord right here, instead of going straight to your D minor 7th chord, you do a little filler to keep it different. So you go give thanks with a grateful heart. Then after heart, but before your next give thanks, you hit a C chord. This is just an inverted C chord. It consists of G, C, and E. What that is a C chord, an F chord, back to that same C chord, D minor chord, a C chord twice, then you're back on your F dominant 7th, and the rest of the song is like it was before. So let me show you what you do in the left hand in addition to that. So thanks with a grateful heart. This C doesn't have anything in the bass. F over D. Did you see that? The F chord and the D are hit at the same time, but then you go back to the C chord without hitting anything else yet in the left hand. Then you hit your D minor chord in your right hand, which is F-A-D, over C in the left hand, because with your left hand you're walking back down to that A. So it's see, your F minor, your D minor over C. Then when you're walking back down to your A, hitting your B flat and your A in the left hand, you just hit 2 C chords, one for each time you hit something in your left hand. See? So all together it's got it? Then you go back up to your F7 chord, hit your F in your pinky. Because he's given is F, E, D. You just roll back down. So thanks, you're on your B flat add 2, because he, A minor 7th, D minor 7th, back to your E flat, back to your E flat, add 2, back to your C minor 7th. Now you continue down in your left hand with the B flat, and you hit a B flat chord in your right hand. Then you hit a C in your left hand. Now another A minor 7th chord. So let me show you that slowly. So Christ, His Son, boom, and now. Get the idea? So the B flat is really filler until you get to the and now. Technically the C note that I hit up here goes and now. So the and starts on the C note. Then the A minor 7th chord is for the now. So it goes. Now you can also do something else to make it prettier. You can do a little bit of a fill here. You can go Christ, His Son, do 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 now. Let me show you that. Whichever one, if you're going to visit that chord, that verse twice, you can do it one time each way to have a little bit of variation. So now let the weak. This is an F major chord, F-A-C, in the right hand over a D in the bass, a D octave in the bass. You can call this a D minor 7th, or you can just call it an F chord over D, whatever's fine for you. So, and A minor 7th, let the weak D minor 7th, say is the F, so it goes and. For I, this is just an E flat chord over an E octave in the bass. For am, this is a C diminished 7th over a G flat. Now a diminished 7th chord is when you flat the 3rd, the 5th, and you flat the dominant 7th. So you recall, this is C dominant 7th, C, E, G, B flat. To make a diminished 7th chord, and you take a dominant 7th chord and flatten everything but the root. So C diminished 7th. So let's go back. B flat over G for strong. All I did was roll the B flat chord in my right hand, walk down to the F in my left hand, let the pour is a C dominant 7th in your right hand with a C octave in your bass. So now let the weak say. Walk down to F. For the I am rich part, I is B flat chord in your right hand over D. C chord over E. F chord over F, the same F we started with in the beginning. So I am rich because of what? That same A minor chord, A minor 7th we saw in the beginning. Lord has is the same D minor 7th chord we dealt with. Done is that E flat chord we saw in the beginning. Guess what that is? It's the E flat add 2 over D. C minor 7th. Give is a B flat over C. Thanks. Now you're back home on your F, and you're pretty much done with the song. There's a little bit of filler that I'm going to show you now. Give thanks. So that's give thanks for that part if you want your choir to sort of hold on to give thanks and repeat those words until you're ready to stop playing, or until the Spirit stops. You get the idea. Until the Spirit directs you to stop. F, it's just these two chords. This is an F chord. I have an F chord in my right hand, A, C, F, and in my left hand, two Fs. This is a G minor 7th chord over C. And I know you're probably going, darn, there's a lot of minor 7th chords in this song. Absolutely. It has sort of a classical, slightly jazzy, kind of contemporary feel to it, so you can expect a lot of minor 7ths. What I'm doing in my left hand whenever I play an octave, any octave you heard me play before, I add the 5th in the middle. For example, if I'm playing an F octave, what's the 5th in the F chord? Is the C. So I'm playing Fs in my octave, and I'm playing a C in between the octaves. Or if I'm on a D, there's an A in the octave. Or if I'm playing two B flats, there's an F in the middle. You get the idea. So give F, G minor 7th over C. That is, it's a turnaround to get you back to the give thanks part. It's basically a 2-5-1 turnaround in the key of F. As we know in F, the 2 is G, the 5 is C, and the 1 is F, back home, right? So for my 2-5-1 turnaround, G minor over G, just one G. I'm not even playing an octave when I do this because it would make it sound too heavy. G minor chord in your right hand. C dominant 7th in my right hand, which is composed of G, B flat, C, and E flat over C. So then back to my F chord, which you can play any inversion of F you want. Now, I just want to note, I'm doing a minor, G minor, C dominant, then an F major. You can do any kind of chord qualities of these chords you want. You can do a G diminished, where you... But whatever the Holy Spirit leads you, that's what you do. You don't have to do it this specific way. This is just how God has allowed me to do it and how it works for me. So... give thanks. So when I'm doing this a second time, basically what I'm doing there, instead of just going F, G minor 7th over C, rather than just go straight from here to here, I chose to start at my Fs, then walk up to my C. See, A, B flat, C. Just adds a little bit more variation to it, makes it a little more interesting. So, F, walk up to the C. You get the idea. Alright, that should about cover everything. So now you should know. You should also know filler, walk, Then, after you're done doing that as many times as you want, B flat over C. Then, when you're resolving out the last time, you don't have to go to this inversion of C dominant 7th. I like to go to the higher one. I like to, when I'm resolving out my final time, because you want to end the song in a 2-5-1. Those are F chords. That's one way to end the song. Or you can go, you come off your turnaround, slow down. They call that a retard in musical terminology. B flat dominant 7th. You get the idea. Now that give thank, the last one, this, in a lot of church music, when you resolve out a song, you hit the dominant 7th you hit the dominant 7th chord of whatever the 4th note is in the scale of that song, and then you resolve back down to the root. For example, in here we're dealing with F. 4 is B flat, so take a B flat chord, take a dominant 7th of that B flat, which is what this is B flat dominant 7th chord. So dominant 7th version of the 4 of the scale, and you go back home. And that's the song. Take it, show me what you can do with it. This is just a skeletal outline to get you started. You can add your own feel and time and tempo to it. God bless.